Whether you care about the environment, where your electricity comes from, or even just your energy bills, battery energy storage systems are something you should know about. Have you ever thought about how electricity actually reaches your home and why prices change throughout the day? It comes down to the source of power, whether it's generated by burning fossil fuels or from renewable energy like solar, wind, or pumped hydro. Renewable energy is cheaper to run, has less impact on the planet, and is generated locally. So it's not tied to global markets, conflicts, or fluctuating fuel prices. But the challenge is that the sun doesn't shine all day and the wind doesn't always blow. And when renewable energy is available, it doesn't always match when we need electricity. So when demand is high, we often fall back on more expensive and less sustainable sources, like gas. And that's where battery energy storage systems come in. They store energy when renewable sources are generating it and release it when we need it most, helping power our homes with clean energy even when it's not being produced. That's the simple version, but behind the scenes, there is a lot more that goes into making it work.
So it starts with understanding where to build these energy storage systems. We look at a number of different aspects, such as grid connection, regulations, and any constraints that might affect the project. Typically, we will acquire projects at ready-to-build stage. That is where the seller has developed the project to the point where the land, planning, and grid connection aspects are all effectively completed and de-risked. So our job is to select the most attractive and viable projects in each grid, which provide the most compelling project returns based on our assumptions. Our expectations around how the system is to be configured from a duration and operational perspective will feed into the business case, which is always evolving across all different jurisdictions.
Then it's about building the right solution, balancing procurement and development considerations while navigating raw material volatility, considering safety, sustainability, and long-term performance. And because technology is always evolving, we're constantly adapting to build assets that are more efficient, more sustainable over time, while ensuring they are built on time, on budget, and to the highest quality.
Once the assets are built, that's where my team, the asset management team, comes in. Our responsibility is really to ensure the assets are available and able to generate revenue. And that comes with a huge amount of challenges. Not only are we thinking about how to ensure the sites, the cybersecurity strategy for them, but also everything that could go wrong. So if a part isn't even available, how do we get around that? A lot of that's supported as well by the data that we get from those sites. So we've actually integrated a huge amount of data into our own in-house platform. Not only does that enable us to make better decisions faster when we're actually doing the day-to-day activities on each site, but it's also enabling us to choose to design out some of the problems that we might otherwise see. So we have this full circle approach really with the procurement team as well, so that we're setting the right scope for a project when we choose to build it.
Once the batteries are operational, the focus shifts to their commercial performance. The commercial team owns the revenue and contractual lifecycle of each asset. We make sure every site can earn revenue from the day it switches on and continues to do so throughout its lifetime. We secure commercial contracts, work with optimizers and route-to-market providers. We also actively monitor market developments, regulatory changes, and industry trends to ensure each battery performs as effectively as possible. It's really about turning stored energy into reliable value for the grid, investors, and consumers.
But electricity trading isn't simple. It's traded 24/7 as supply, demand, and system conditions change. Decisions are made throughout the day on when to store energy, when to release it, and where it creates the most value for our investors and for the system operator. The trading markets operate in windows as short as half an hour, so timing and data play a key role. And to do this successfully, we've developed our own system, which frequently collects market data, creates short-term forecasts, and automatically makes informed decisions for our assets in real time.
And for us, this cycle, these decisions and conversations continue every day. It might feel like a big process, but in the 2025-26 financial year, we estimate that the assets we manage helped avoid more than 15,000 tons of CO2 and stored nearly 57 gigawatt hours of renewable electricity, enough to power almost 21,000 homes for a year. And that's why we exist, to make this process feel simple, secure investment, and help power our homes with renewable energy for a cleaner future.